apologize for the confusion, but I will be presenting our special guest speaker, Elmer Roman. But before I present Mr. Roman, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our guest participant from Ukraine. I found out from my wife that your childhood dream was for you to visit the Arecibo Observatory. And we're making arrangements so that tomorrow you can go see it. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Roman is the Director, Joint Capability Technology Demonstration Program at the United States Department of Defense. He currently serves, as I said, the Director of the Joint Capability Technology Demonstration Program at the Office of the Undersecretary of the Department of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics. In the Office of Research and Engineering, Emerging Capability and Prototyping. In this role, Mr. Roman is responsible for providing executive leadership and management oversight for EC&P prototyping and experimentation efforts, as well as planning for the transition of selected projects into the formal acquisition projects in support of combatant commands, services, and national security agencies. It is an honor for me to present Elmer Roman, but most importantly, he's a Puerto Rican, he's a graduate of the University of Mayagüez, RUM, and I wanted to present to him yesterday the RUM's Institute of UAVs, only to find out that Dr. Goyal and Mr. Roman went to school together. So it's very good to know that Puerto Ricans, we're interconnected and we know each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonardo, for the kind introduction and getting me out of the Pentagon. So I do appreciate that. And I'm truly sorry for your loss, your sister. So, thank you, Marianne, for all your attentions. You know, she stood up until midnight Wednesday to make sure that I arrived safe and everybody taking care of me. So thanks for that, and the team to pull this off. So like Leonardo mentioned, I obviously came up from Puerto Rico, and as I was going through high school, I was involved, going through aerospace science studies as was part of the Civil Air Patrol Cadet program. And always fascinated about the idea of science and technology and the idea of made in Puerto Rico. So I'm really glad to be here. Truly looking forward to the event, and like the Chinese proverb said, a 1,000-mile journey started with the first step, and that's one single step. So I look forward to the discussions today. So what I'm going to be talking about is basically a program that I lead at the Office of the Secretary of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics. In particular, as we relate to the whole idea of using prototyping, experimentation, and demonstrations to develop the next frontier technologies that we as a department currently developing for national security. I currently lead a program called the Joint Capability Technology Demonstration Program, and I'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. But again, I'm looking forward to be here today, and I'm going to try to be around 30 minutes, and hopefully get some time to answer any questions. Next slide, please. So our big strategic challenge of today is, we have relied in the past for, as we talk in terms of defense as a nation, on our platforms, ships, submarines, aircrafts, and so on. But today, that technical edge that we used to have as a nation, continues to erode. I mean, technology has proliferated to the point where, there's competition out there. And of course, as anything else, we have to adjust. And that adjustment in the department is in terms of looking at ideas to be able to achieve technical excellence, and as well as pursue innovative ways to achieve dominant capabilities. And why is that important? It's because, like anything else, being able to pursue a stable and prosperous world requires an element of national security. So we have actually about three programs within the department that's looking at achieving that technical excellence through Air, By, and Power, looking at the Defense Innovation Initiative and a long-range research and development plan that allow us to identify high payoff technologies and identify where we're going to be making investments to maintain that technical edge. I work for the next slide, please. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Emerging Capability and Prototyping. And we have actually shifted our priorities from, in the past, focusing on today's needs to more long-term and strategic priorities so that we can continue addressing those threats or emerging needs as they identify themselves. The office that we work on, the Emerging Capability and Prototyping, we have 4 different program elements that we work on. Of course, the one that I lead is the Joint Capability Technology Demonstrations. We also have an office for emerging capabilities and technology. Oh, okay, good. Okay, next one. There you go. Got it. Okay, sorry for that. So the office itself organized in 4 different programs. Like I already mentioned, the Joint Capability Technology Demonstrations, Emerging Capabilities, Quick Reaction Activities, and Foreign Comparative Testing. The Joint Capability Technology Demonstration program that are currently is an area that we focus on prototyping, experimentation activities that mostly are what we call pre-engineering, manufacturing, development, or I like to call it pre-production. These are activities that we try to focus within a 3 or 5 year time frame. The programs usually are less than $100 million overall. And again, the areas of focus being like Arnaldo mentioned, space resiliency, autonomy, as well as cyber net-centric type of activities on force application. The other areas are more related to today's challenges, dealing with the conventional issues, including as well countering the concerns about weapons of mass destruction. All along, again, these are program elements that we have in the department to enable us to engage both government, academia, and industry to be able to develop the capabilities that we need in the future. So, and here's a picture of my boss, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, Earl Wyatt, who was kind enough to let me come here today, so and be here with you. There you go, now I can use this. Okay, so what's prototyping, experimentation, and demonstration? Again, why the emphasis on that? Again, it relates to developing proven methods to allow us to be able to look at the risks, reducing the technical risk of our activities, demonstrating the feasibility of the development of the capability, measuring the operational value, as well as advancing and accelerating the formalization of requirements in the acquisition of systems. What we try to do is be more agile, more innovative, and of course, focus on affordability. So to enable the ODA to be affordable, we have to look at the reality possible, both looking at how do we engage in taking on greater risk early in the acquisition life cycle, but at the same time, look at ways where we can cost effectively being able to enhance the operability of our system as well as reducing the lifecycle costs of the capabilities through its whole life cycle. That includes both development, production, as well as down the end, sustainment of the capabilities. And of course, I already mentioned the acceleration of the acquisition of these capabilities into operations. So the program that I lead, as you already know, and I'm not sure if anybody from the audience have had any experience with JCTDs, but it was created, it's been around since 1995. I inherited it, I haven't been around running the program since 1995, but it's been there. So, and then the program itself emerged from the Packard Commission when they actually came up with a set of recommendations for the department to streamline acquisition. In this case, look at ways how we can increase use of prototyping, the whole idea of fly before you buy, focusing on joint programs that were not adequately addressed by the services, mainly the Army, Navy, Air Force. Usually we have parochial views and very stovepipe approach to things, so that was a way to kind of bring the enterprise together in development capabilities. And of course, operational testing. You got to get the operators and the users in the process early. So that was the whole idea with the packages program, and then I obviously report to Congress on the activities that we do within our effort. But the most important thing here is that we are about transitioning affordable, game-changing capabilities to the warfighter, but in addition to that, being able to mitigate the operational risk of that before they insert the technology into their operations. So that's all part of the effort. The mission itself, again, focusing on strategic priorities, being able to introduce the capabilities through the use of prototyping, experimentation, and operational demonstration. One, to stimulate innovation. again, providing that bridge between the scientific, the operational and acquisition community, and I think I've been emphasizing those three a lot right now. The whole idea of making this a collaborative effort between government, industry, and academia, and I think I see that here today. Reducing risk, both from the technical and operational side, either through experimentation or demonstrations, and there's a difference between two. Affordability, so how do we enable affordability, reduce the cost, and I'll be talking about that, how we do that in the space arena. And of course, at the same time, acceleration of this capability. No longer we have the luxury of 20-year program, 30-year programs to insert a capability into the field. There's no money out there for that. So we have to look at better ways to reduce or shorten the life cycle of acquisition. And the focus of my program is with 3 to 5 years time frame from the project start to completion. The program has evolved like anything else, all basic priorities. Back in the 90s when we started, as you probably have heard, our focus was back then in game-changing innovative concepts. So from there, the program started with Global Hawk, Predator, as well as the data links that currently have in the department. So a lot of the communications and unmanned system capabilities that you see today started with my program. Between 2002 and 2013, the focus was more on the rapid insertion of capabilities. Of course, you can relate that to the incident after 9/11 in Afghanistan and Iraq. And then, of course, now we're shifting priorities and focus more on higher payoff enabling technologies. And that could be reducing the cost of aircraft, space systems, as well as missiles and all the type of capabilities. So it's not then the rapid restoration of operations in the case of a contingency. So how we have changed defense. So since 1995, or even before 1995, I would say, the U.S. have actually played with the idea of unmanned systems. And we had canceled about 9 different programs because they were not, there's a program use for the services, especially the Air Force, where they didn't want to see unmanned pilots, unmanned aircraft flying around, and so there was that thing going. But then, of course, there's the technical complexities of the issue. So since then, in 1995, they came up with this program, the medium altitude endurance UAV, as well as the high altitude endurance UAV systems, which led to the Global Hawk and the Predator. And you can today, just Northrop Grumman alone, about 2 weeks ago, received a $3.5 billion IDIQ contract to further develop the Global Hawk, and then in terms actually start looking at how we're going to phase out the U-2 program. But if you go back into all the programs and activities across the department, about 88% of the unmanned systems that we currently have in the inventory, you can trace it back to my program here, the Joint Capability Technology Demonstration. So we actually have changed defense and continue to do so as we move forward. We also focus on logistics. We try to figure out a way how to make it so that our logistical systems are more represented and leverage a better use of technology, from the use of autonomous technologies for be able to replenish and delivery of material to points of need, to the safe as being able to rapidly repair ports, or if not to as well being able to provide safety of our convoys by the use of robotics and other instruments. So the whole thing, as you can see here in this view, I don't know if we have a better laser. Yes. I'm afraid to touch this button. There you go. But as you can see over here, the whole concept is that we look at it from a holistic perspective, or a system-to-system perspective, to enable our operators to be able to do their mission, do it quicker, do it safer, but at the same time leverage the latest technologies out there. How are we meeting today's challenges? It varies. But of course, one of those key components and elements of that is the whole area of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. We have developed capabilities like the high-speed delivery of needs supplies to the city people in Iraq back in August 2014 when ISIS was actually doing its thing against the people out there. And so we developed the high-speed container delivery system to get material, food, water, and all the resources to them in a speedy manner. And that took place in a fairly short amount of time, thanks to the technology we developed. We're also looking at autonomous system, expand the frontier of the use of capabilities like the, the awesome JCTV, and it actually has that awesome name that means the Advanced Weapons Enhanced by Submarine UAV. It's the whole idea of launching submarine unmanned system from submarines for surveillance, battle damage assessment, support of search and rescue missions, and others. So look at we're now pushing the envelope of the use of these capabilities out there, and that's a good example. So that big name of awesome means that it's really awesome that we're able to do this. So we're also looking at affordability through prototyping. Again, lower the cost of these systems, make it so that at some point some people are thinking about the idea that perhaps our engagement with industry is that we provide a blueprint for industry to produce. The Department of Defense, we're not about producing things. This is where we leverage industry relationships. But at the same time, we can't continue to pay more for the same. So we need to look at ways where we can reduce the cost and sustainability and affordability of the system. So we have a program called the Low-Cost Critical Aircraft Technology System, which allows us to be able to further develop longer, bigger, longer range type of unmanned systems like Global Hawk and others that are much lower in cost. And so again, so we can configure this for different activities, so either surveillance, communication, strike, voice one, as well as small delivery of other platforms. And then finally, another thing we're working on, so of course, is increased situational awareness. How do we get information out to our partners, our mission partners? And mission partners today are not just only the services. It also means Department of Homeland Security. It also means our international partners, international organizations, and others. I mean, I'm currently working in helping the United Nations modernize its capabilities to conduct peacekeeping operations in Africa. So all these capabilities that we have developed for defense are also now migrating themselves to the peace building as well as the commercial sector. So the sharing of data for our partners is critical, and we do this across the board for both security and humanitarian assistance disaster relief efforts. In the area of autonomous systems and challenges that we're seeing, again, this is actually the base of a Defense Science Board study that hasn't been released. You have a copy of it, but that look around what are the challenges of today with regard to science, engineering, and policy that we need to solve as a department to enable to allow us to have greater use of autonomous systems across our warfighting options and domains. Of course, that in there you can actually relate to how do we develop new acquisition approaches for autonomy. Given the added complexity of autonomous systems, where when you think about autonomy, you have to think in terms of how do we delegate the decision to any entity to be able to authorize to do an action on your behalf. So think about the issue of trust that we need to have on the technology. At the same time, the integration of artificial intelligence with robotics, as well as intelligent systems, all of that coming all together at once, it requires that we look at this problem a little more seriously. There's also the concern about cyber threats against autonomous systems, and the same thing and same issues that the aviation community have, but it's even a little bit more exacerbated by the fact that there's no man in the loop with in some of these autonomous systems. So we're thinking hard about what that means and how to counter that. Modeling and simulation, both for test and evaluation, as well as verification and validation, is critical to this engagement or this endeavor. The development of an autonomy literary DoD workforce. We're moving away from unmanned systems to autonomous systems. So what does that mean? How do we train our people? How do we educate our youth so they understand how these new technologies will impact their life? And as well as look at how do we engage our international partners so we can improve our global autonomy technology discovery. Who's doing what? How can we leverage each other's opportunities? And at the same time, being able to work together. So we actually continue experimenting in this. I already mentioned some of the programs, like in the case of the AMAS system here, we're already working in robotics for Army's vehicles so that they can drive themselves and reduce exposure by soldiers during convoys, during threat situations, as well as being able to use systems that are able to autonomously be able to deliver material to any area and do the retrogate, basically be able to return back to base on their own. So we're looking hard about this problem, and that's the next frontier, autonomous systems, and what does that mean? And again, the dialogue is still happening in the department, so more to come on that. With regard to space, again, the big challenge here is how do we continue to be able to have access to space or space-based capabilities in an environment where the proliferation of space denial capability continues to increase, continues to be a concern. That's an area where we're also testing out some ideas in regard to the use of nano satellites, as well as low-cost, on-demand launch. Reduce the cost of the launching capability, and the magic number now these days is less than $1 million. As well as the use of increased use of commercial imagery. Right now, so these are pictures of some of the programs that I have. Back in October 8th, I launched 3 space nano satellites out of the SNAP program to help improve communications, voice and data comms beyond land side to our disadvantaged users, meaning the guys out there in the field that have no other ways of communicating other than that through satellite. The other one that you can see here is a program actually was in collaboration with NASA, where we were looking at that again, that low-cost, on-demand launch capability, less than $1 million rockets to be able to expand in the activities of the small space domain. One big challenge there, of course, is launch. It continues to be the challenge for all the small satellites. So if we can come up and build a spaceport or something along those lines, I heard some of the discussions here in Puerto Rico where you can actually, with some sort of a commercial investment, be able to reduce the cost of the launch, the building the satellite and the launch, and make it attractive. I mean, that would be an area where I can see potential there. Again, all the programs like going back to the whole idea of small sats. We have another program that I'll be launching back we're going to launch it in March, June timeframe. Is on surveillance satellites, obviously electro-optical at this point, where you can go up to infrared. Again, and the whole thing is enable assured imaging to our warfighters and as well mission partners by just point-and-click method. So we're opening it up with a lot of this, and you'll be surprised. When we also allow this technology, we enable non-government organizations and NGOs that are working peace-building activities in Africa to be able to leverage the technology we're putting out there. And then another one that we have is this program is called CTAR. It's mostly how to, again, be able to increase the access of commercial imagery, especially commercial space. And we're working with RadarSat, Canadian company, Italian company, as well as SkyMed and others that enables us to, just by a point-and-click method, very low cost, being able to access commercial space imagery at this point. There's a report as well that RAN is currently writing, and it's not being released yet, but it's about how we can learn and work better with the commercial sector, so we can understand the business processes, how the commercial sector of today that's looking at space is working with the banking investment community to raise the capital to be able to develop a market that themselves can help them be able to provide services, and at the same time enables the government not to compete with industry but being a partner in this effort. So that's again the direction we're going, looking at commercial, smaller, at least for some of these capabilities, enable quick access to space in the area of communications, surveillance, and others. So there are opportunities out there to be taken advantage of. So that will be my last slide. So again, because I want to be able to answer any questions. So in summary, again, we've been doing this for 20 years. How do we shorten the acquisition life cycle is critical. How do we look at affordability, being agile, being innovative, making this a collaborative effort between government, industry, and academia. So that's the key tenets of our efforts. And then again, looking at affordability, but in addition to leverage experimentation to reduce the technical risk early on. So because by the time you're in production, it's already too late. So reducing technical risk, reducing operational risk, it's all about engaging the operators, the users, and investing in those kind of activities early. So we want to eliminate surprises early and of course, deliver capabilities quickly for the warfighters. So we continue to innovate. We don't talk, we do it. So that's my motto there. So at this point, I'm open to questions. So it's your time. Thank you. Okay, that's a good question. So one of the things I want to just point out that, of course, I work in the Pentagon and being the guy as a research sponsor for a lot of these projects that have to do with technology development and both industry and our labs, is that I see where the opportunities are, right? And what's most important is that we have a marketplace called the defense marketplace out there where we go in and expose to the community all the opportunities that are out there in terms of rapid innovation funding, and what are the requirements that we need. So all this information that's out there on the internet, I mean, I'm actually surprised how much we put out there, to be honest. So the opportunities lie on small industry, academia to engage either through grant processes or through rapid innovation funds that are actually mandated by Congress, so that we just don't look at the big players like Lockheed, Northrop Grumman, but also give opportunity to small companies as well as universities to be able to participate in our process. We're looking to figure out a way how do we bring innovation outside DoD. And bringing that innovation outside DoD means non-traditional partners. So it's just a matter of being able to find these opportunities. So the defensemarketplace.com, you should go there. .mil, I'm sorry. You see from the requirements to what are the needs, as well as the funding opportunities and how to go about getting to those. But it's really critical sometimes is that just to know where to look for. Again, the defensemarketplace.mil is a way to start. And at the same time, contacting us, and as well as the labs, so that they will point you in the right direction to be able to leverage these opportunities. Okay. All right. Any other? Okay, well, thank you very much, and I do appreciate the opportunity and the honor to be here with you today. Thank you.